Okay, I'm in Bathurst, and there's a guy upset here, and we're going to find out what the story is. What's your name?
Ernest Bavin.
Bavin, parle français?
Oui.
Well, on peut parler français, on peut faire en anglais, but we're going to do it in English.
English.
Okay, no problem. So, you have a concern? Or
Yes.
a complaint?
Yes.
Go ahead.
I have a complaint against the hospital.
In Bathurst?
In Bathurst, and the social assistance people and the mental health. Okay.
What happened?
I had a son that had a heart attack and a stroke in Toronto. He came to New Brunswick under my care. He fell off of his bicycle while he was here. He ended up in the hospital.
Was he wearing a helmet?
No, I don't think so.
Because I rode a 10-speed bicycle across Canada from Halifax to San Francisco 30 years ago. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
And he went to the hospital to get an MRI done on his brain, on his skull, and he ended up in they couldn't understand him. He ended up in the psych ward. The psych ward people.
Psych ward.
Yeah, they couldn't understand him because he has a problem called aphasia, with his stroke. His speech is very limited to one-syllable sentences. Yes, no, school, hospital. So he couldn't communicate with them.
Really?
And they couldn't communicate with him. It's a rare disease from the brain by stroke. Very few people have it.
Really?
So they couldn't understand him, and they put him in the psych ward, and the people in the psych, he didn't want to stay there, and then they gave him a needle and put him in the handcuffed, and
what?
The whole time he was yelling, lawyer, lawyer, lawyer.
Really?
They kept
How old was he?
39.
39 years old. And how long did he stay in the psych ward?
He stayed in the psych ward 4 or 5 days till I got his release. I found out that he was in, and I went and got him. And then after, we brought him back in under a depression, which is very common with people with aphasia. After we brought him into the psych ward, the psychiatrist, because I had removed him the first time, I gave him a blast because he didn't know what he was doing. And this time he made an application to the courts to have him kept against his will. While he was there in the psych ward, 2 months, his last 21 days, they gave him to me for care in my own home, and then charged the province of New Brunswick to all the charge while he was with me. After he was discharged, the social assistance people came in and took him from me and placed him in a home.
Really?
Yeah.
And so if he didn't have a good father, he would have been forgotten.
He would have been forgotten. He'd been a derelict placed in a home in the woods.
That's terrible.
Terrible.
So
my story, what I want is just to show the public what can happen to someone who is unfortunate enough to have the stroke and they don't have the means to look after themselves, and the complications that arise from the hospitals and the doctors and everybody else in society. I don't know how to treat them. My son has a psychology degree.
Really? Has the media covered this?
No.
How come?
Well, I've been trying to find someone to cover it, and they say it's a kind of a complicated story.
Complicated? There's no complicated there. Just for the record, he's right there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's him there.
Yeah.
And so, a complicated story.
Yeah.
Is there any way to contact you, sir?
Yes, I live in Bathurst. My address is 89 Yonge Street, and my telephone number is 506-548-8314.
Nothing?
Yeah, no coverage.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Can I take a picture of you? Okay, I'll take a picture.
Okay.
Can you and him be...
Well, he doesn't want to get involved, that's okay.
Okay.